In today's video, we will look at multiple examples of transitive and intransitive verbs within sentences. Let's do a quick review before we get started in our examples. All verbs show action, but a transitive verb is a verb followed by an object, answered by what or whom. An intransitive verb does not need an object. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. The glass broke. Glass is my subject noun. What is being said about glass? The glass broke. That's my verb. Since there is no object followed by the verb, this would be considered intransitive. But let's take a look at this sentence. He broke the glass. Who broke the glass? He. That's my subject pronoun. What is being said about he? He broke. That's my verb. Now it's time to ask ourselves two questions to locate the object. We're going to ask what or whom about the verb. In this case, what broke? The glass broke. Therefore, that's my direct object, and this is a verb transitive. Now it's time for you to decide. One of the sentences below contains an intransitive verb, and one contains a transitive verb. Let's start with this sentence. She burst the balloon. Who burst the balloon? She, subject pronoun. What did she do? She burst. That's my verb. Now it's time to see if we can answer either of these questions, what or whom, about my verb. What did she burst? The balloon. That's my direct object, making this, you've got it, the verb transitive. Now let's take a look at this sentence. The balloon burst. What burst? Balloon. That's my subject noun. What is being said about balloon? It burst. That's my verb. As you can see in this sentence, there is nothing following my verb to answer the questions what or whom. Therefore, this is an intransitive verb. Now let's take a look at transitive verbs and intransitive verbs in a more complex sentence. Joe and Maria play soccer after school. Who plays soccer? Joe and Maria. These are both my subjects. And what do? They play. That's my verb. Now it's time to ask myself these two questions about my verb. What do they play? They play soccer. So I've located my direct object, which means this is a verb transitive. Let's take a look at one more example today. The rabbit hopped at noon. What hopped? The rabbit did, so that's my subject. What did it do? It hopped, that's my verb. So now it's time to ask myself what or whom about my verb. Hopped what? I don't have an answer for that. Hopped whom? I also don't have an answer for that. So even though there is a remaining part of the sentence, the verb takes no direct object, which means this is an intransitive verb. So if you can remember these two rules, you will always be able to identify a transitive or an intransitive verb. Remember that a transitive verb needs an object. The object can be defined by answering the questions what or whom about the verb. And the intransitive is simple. It does not need an object.